Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey, all right, and action. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Erin Marvin Show. This is episode 6. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you joined us last week for the Jackie Snacky episode, and that was your first time watching the show, first time listening to the show, thanks for checking it out so much. If you came back this week, dang, thank you so much. I'm flattered and honored, and hopefully you stick around for more episodes because we're just getting started and we're just figuring out what this podcast is all about. Happy New Year, everybody. How was your New Year? Happy New Year. My New Year was uneventful, but it was good. I spent my New Year's Eve in St. Louis, Missouri. I was there for a work trip, and New Year's Eve, I went out to dinner with a few coworkers. Had dinner. What did I eat? I had a Cubano sandwich, and I had onion rings. Just a real, onion rings are just fried onions. And it was kind of my last supper. Like, all right, just indulge and enjoy yourself. Had a few beers. And then went back to my hotel, rang in the new year. St. Louis, staying in downtown, was at the stroke of midnight. It was a bunch of fireworks and a little bit of gunshots. I would say 90% fireworks, about 10% gunshots. On the news, they said there was like 6 incidents involving gunshots that night. So about 90%. Fireworks, 10% guns. So my New Year's resolutions are off to a good start. Doing Dry January. Everybody participating in Dry January this month, keep it up. I believe in you. You can do this. We're almost 2 weeks in, and I'm feeling great. Few benefits I've noticed from participating in Dry January, not drinking any alcohol this month. I wake up every morning feeling great. I have to find other stuff to do besides drink. And also, I've noticed that my energy is up and my conversations with people have been of more of a quality than prior because I have more energy. So I'm a little bit more with it. I'm a little bit more clear-headed, and I can engage with people and have interpersonal communication at a higher level. I noticed I was a little bit more witty, and I was cracking more jokes and making some people laugh, and that makes me feel really good. So that's just one benefit that I've noticed that is a good benefit. So I'm going to keep it up. I hope everybody out there who is also participating keeps it up and don't cave. I was stuck at the airport in a 5-hour delay, and I gotta be honest, thought about caving. Because when you're stuck at an airport for 5 hours, what else are you supposed to do? The most fun thing that you can do at an airport for 5 hours is sit at a bar and chop it up with the other people that are sitting there. So I didn't do that. I was like, no, I shouldn't do this. So I went and I sat in a corner, listened to some country music, and I started jotting down notes of what I was going to talk about for this episode. Turns out, don't have a ton to talk about, but we're doing the episode anyway because consistency is key. You know what I mean. I write down a little page of notes here to kind of keep me on track, so I'm going to glance down at this real quick. Okay. Oh, yeah. Did I say thank you to everybody who tuned in to the Jackie Snacky episode? I think I mentioned that. So thanks, everybody, for watching. It was a good episode. Jackie was very appreciative of me having her on the podcast. It's very interesting when you interview your friend because you already know a lot about your friend, but when you ask questions to let the rest of the world know about them, sometimes you might leave out some details that would be good to know, but didn't get in the episode because I already knew it, so I didn't think to ask those questions to allow her to speak on those things. So That being said, feedback for that episode, I noticed that I really do like to interview people. So going forward in the future, I do plan on having more guests on the show, maybe some friends, but I would also like to have people on the show that I don't know so that I can conduct a more full-blown interview where I can research the person, but by researching the person, coming up with questions of things I would like to know more about. And I think that would help me personally to be interviewing somebody that I don't know. So look for that in future episodes. Not sure. I kind of just go week by week with this thing and figure out what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to do. They say that podcast experts say that you need to have a niche, or you need to know what you're talking about for your each episode. I don't really know week to week what that might be. And that's kind of starting to become the theme of the show, is just me getting on the microphone and talking, because I'm just getting my reps in, man. It's like exercising. The more reps you do, the better you get at it. So that's what I'm trying to do. Was in St. Louis for the first week of the year on a work trip. Unfortunately, the Erin Marvin Show is not paying the bills. The Erin Marvin music doesn't pay the bills, so I do have to have a day job. So that's what I was doing in St. Louis, doing some video production work. St. Louis was all right. I stayed in downtown. It was kind of my first time in St. Louis. I didn't have a lot of free time to go out and explore. Some people that I was working with did go over to see the Arch, and I'm kind of disappointed that I missed out on that. It looked like a lot of fun. But yeah, it was really a quick week. Just hopped out, worked for a week, and flew back. Had that 5-hour delay at the airport due to, they said that the plane did not have any brakes that they were about to board us on. So I'm glad that they pumped the brakes and said, hey, we got to get you guys a new plane, because I believe it was not that long ago, maybe in the last week or two, that a plane at the Minneapolis airport skid off the runway. So brakes are important on planes, and I wouldn't want to be on one that has mechanical issues. So we made it through the 5-hour delay. We're home. When I was gone, Minnesota got hit with a ton of snow. My mom said that they got 17 inches of snow. Minneapolis got hammered pretty hard. We're used to snow, but when I got home and I walked out, I was walking down the sidewalk, I was like, wow, this is a lot of snow. It usually doesn't get that much. Like, it feels like it varies year to year, but this one, it dumped some snow. Excuse me. So that's cool to see. I'm glad that it sounded like it was very beautiful when it was happening, but then you just got to deal with the after effects, digging out cars, everybody's getting stuck. Snow plows don't have anywhere to put the snow, so the roads are getting skinnier, but that's one of the beauties of living in Minnesota. That's why we live here, is we just love it, man. But it's all good. I do enjoy it. It's just amazing what Mother Nature can do to alter the world that we live in. What else has been going on? Honestly, we're just cooling, man. It's the new year. I'm glad that everybody, seems like everybody's in positive spirits lately. If you're not, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope things turn around for you. I'm wearing this new flannel that I got for Christmas from my sister. Had to throw it on. Flannels are something that are a staple in the Midwest fashion attire. And, you know, I do like wearing flannels, but I do have one rule that I try to abide by. If I'm going out with a group of people, and especially a group of the boys, I will not wear a flannel, because I know if I show up to an event or a gathering of friends and I wear a flannel, I will not be the only person wearing a flannel there. If I'm with a group of 10 people, you can almost guarantee at least 4 of them are going to be also wearing a flannel, and that's being generous. It's probably more like 7 or 8 out of the 10 are going to be wearing a flannel. So that's my rule, is if I'm going out, I will not wear a flannel. But if you do see me out and I am wearing a flannel, that means that I don't care. If you see me out and I'm wearing a flannel, just know that I actually made the choice that I'm putting in no effort tonight. I'm just going to wear a flannel and go about my day. So you see me out and about with the flannel, you know I'm on that that I don't give a F type of vibe. But they are nice. I got to admit, flannels are nice. I dropped a fashion tip on my Snapchat story the other day. I said, if you want to stand out, wear 2 kinds of flannels. So one flannel and then layer it with another flannel to set yourself apart. Because I just don't like to be out and about and everybody's wearing the same thing. You know what I mean? I want to stand apart from everybody. I don't want to be dressed the same way that everybody else is dressed. Not that it really matters that much, because what really matters is you showing up and you being present, chatting with your friends, and being there. It doesn't matter what you wear. It's all about your personality and your thoughts and ideas and the kind of love that you bring to the function. But that does not change the fact that I do not want to wear a flannel if I'm going out. I do remember when I was in kindergarten going school shopping, there was this beautiful flannel shirt way up tall in the Kohl's clothing section that I really wanted. I was like, wow, that's a very nice looking shirt. I would love to have that shirt. So my mom bought me the flannel and I wore it to school, and I was so confident and proud of this shirt that I picked out. And then one of the older kids at school, a 5th or a 6th grader, made fun of me for wearing a flannel. And that really hurt my feelings, and it really bothered me and my fashion sense. I was like, wow, flannels aren't cool? I really like this shirt. So that kind of broke my heart. So I never wore that shirt again. And I told my mom that it was itchy. That's the reason that I didn't want to wear it. I don't think I've ever told that story before, but Mom, if you remember that, that's what happened. It's not that I didn't like the flannel, it's that people didn't like the flannel on me. But nowadays, screw the haters. Wear whatever you want. Just, you won't see me wearing the flannel. And if I am wearing the flannel, it's because I don't care. My hair is looking pretty nice today. Letting the curls down for this episode. I got some new shampoo and conditioner yesterday and some gel to put in my curly hair. That's another thing that I didn't really like when I was a kid. I really did not like my curly hair for whatever reason. I think it was because I didn't see a lot of people with curly hair on TV, and the kids on TV who did have curly hair were kind of like the nerdy kids, or like the squares that were the token character in the friend group that was just like there to get made fun of. So I didn't really like my curly hair, but as I've gotten older, I've grown to appreciate it, especially since I've grown it out. I got some nice curls. Not trying to brag, but it's just advice to everybody. The sooner that you can become confident with what you've been given and just how you are, the sooner that you can get over those obstacles and not have to worry about what other people think. And I still worry about what other people think about me sometimes, but I realize that it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I don't really care what other people look like. I don't really care what other people wear. So why should they be caring about what I look like or what I wear? I don't know if anybody else deals with that or struggles with that. Drop it in the comments if you care what people think about you. Drop it in the comments if you judge other people based on what they look like or what they wear. Because guess what? 2023, we're not going to be doing any of that anymore. Some other things. Oh, I did want to. All right, I got to be honest. I'm struggling to record this episode. I've restarted it about 5 times. So if I already mentioned something, or if I ask if I mentioned something, is because I probably did it in one of the first takes that I did. But eventually you just got to let the camera roll and just talk, baby. So New Year's, haven't been drinking pop, which is a good one, because if I drink a can of pop, that will just set my day into a tailspin, especially the Diet Cokes. Diet Cokes may sound like a good idea, but they will screw with your brain and just put you in this artificial state of reality that you never knew existed. So no pops this year. Still doing caffeine. I'm still drinking coffee every day, but no pop. And I'm not a huge pop drinker, but it's just one of those little things that I can cut out and feel good about myself for doing so. Another thing that I've been doing this new year, a little confession that I have to make. So far this new year, I have brushed my teeth before bed every single night. I know that you're supposed to do that, but I got to be honest. Sometimes I'm really tired and I'm already all comfy in bed, and then I realize, oh man, I didn't brush my teeth. Screw it. My teeth will be okay for a night. Not so far this year, though. This year, we're not going to bed with any scum on our teeth. So I hope everybody's brushing their teeth when they go to bed and when they wake up, and flossing. And I'm not using mouthwash because I've heard that is bad for the bacteria in your mouth. There's something about there's like good bacteria or good organisms that live in your mouth that mouthwash will kill. So I have not been doing the mouthwash. But instead of mouthwash, I just might pop a little piece of gum in after I brush my teeth, and good to go for the day. Another thing I got for Christmas, my other sister, Brianna, Megan got me the flannel. Brianna got me a new alarm clock named Clocky. This is the official Erin Marvin alarm clock saga update. I've said that I really have a tough time waking up. So my sister heard that, and she bought me a new alarm clock named Clocky. And I'll tell you something about Clocky is Clocky has wheels on it. So when Clocky goes off in the morning, it runs away from me. It just scurries away across the floor. It'll jump off the nightstand and onto the floor and runs away and just starts squealing and howling and barking up a storm. And it jolts me out of bed because it is a pretty... It's not an unpleasant sound, but the thing about Clocky is it rolls away on the wheels, and then the alarm sound changes pitches and frequencies. So it's not the same beep, 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 beep. It changes up, so it makes different noises, and eventually one of those noises will wake me up, because oftentimes my brain will just get used to it if it's just the same tone, and I'll just ignore it. But Clocky changes the pitches and the frequencies and the volume and the different songs that it sings, so that I actually do hear it and I actually do have to get up. And it is it's been pretty helpful so far. So I've noticed that with Clocky, I actually get out of bed. So shout out to Clocky. So far so good, keeping me in check in the new year. And I'll tell you another tip that I've been doing so far this year. Keep Clocky in my bedroom, and then I take my phone and I plug it in a different room, so that when I go to bed, I'm not looking at my phone before bed. I can just close my eyes, put on a little podcast or whatever I need to do. Can play the podcast from a different room, put a Bluetooth speaker in my room. Keep the phone out of the bedroom is the takeaway here. I do not need that stress in my life. I don't need to hear a notification right when I'm about to fall asleep and have to check it. And then I check it, and then I open up my phone and I start looking at the same crap that I was just looking at. Keep it out of the bedroom. That's a tip everybody can institute into their life. So when the alarm goes off in the morning, I hit Clocky and I'm like, all right, we're awake. What's good? And then I can decide if I'm going to go into the next room and immediately look at my phone. It's kind of a good reminder. I'm like, okay, why did I put my phone in a different room in the first place? Oh yeah, it's pretty much not really helpful for me to look at my phone. There's not actually much that is pertinent information that I need to be addressing right now. So that helps me get out of bed, go to the kitchen, do my thing, drink some water, make a little slice up an apple or some oatmeal or whatever I got to do before I look at my phone. Now, if I have somewhere I need to be, like work or something, or I need to get in touch with somebody right away, then yeah, I'll go for the phone. But so far, I've noticed that leaving the phone in a different room when I'm sleeping has been very helpful for me. I also want to update everybody on my fantasy football team, the Halloween Spiders. We didn't win the championship, but we did take third place, and I did get my money back for entering into the league, so that's good. So the fantasy football season was a wash. We're going to come back next year even stronger than ever. Halloween Spiders coming back for season 2 under the franchise name of the Halloween Spiders. And I'm really looking forward to that. Also, I don't know if they do XFL fantasy football, but if they do, if anybody's interested in starting an XFL fantasy league with me, I believe the season starts right after the Super Bowl. Let's put a league together. Let's have a friendly XFL fantasy football league. I'll have to look into that, but yeah. The Vikings are in the playoffs. Yep, NFC North Division champs. And the Green Bay Packers are not in the playoffs. Shout out to the Detroit Lions for eliminating those guys. The 8-9 Green Bay Packers playing the world's tiniest violin. It's good to see. Shout out to the Packers fans out there. Sorry you guys aren't there this year. I mean, let's be real. The Vikings haven't made the playoffs in a few years, and now we're back and you guys aren't. It's okay. You can root for us if you want, and that would be very appreciative. But on top of that, the NFL playoffs are beginning, and I just wanted to go through my predictions for the playoffs this year. You heard it here first, folks. The official Erin Marvin NFL playoff predictions. All right, in the wild card round, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars defeating the Chargers. I have the Bengals defeating the Ravens. I also have the Buffalo Bills defeating the Miami Dolphins in the AFC. Moving on to the NFC, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeating the Dallas Cowboys. We have your hometown team, the Minnesota Vikings, America's favorite darling, defeating the New York Giants. We also have the San Francisco 49ers defeating Geno Smith in the Seattle Seahawks. Then, when we move on to the divisional round, in the AFC, the Buffalo Bills will defeat the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Kansas City Chiefs, number 1 seed, will take care of the Jaguars. Then, in the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by the greatest quarterback to ever live, Tom Brady, will defeat the number 1 seed, Philadelphia Eagles. And then the Minnesota Vikings, playing in their second, I forget what seed the 49ers are, but the Vikings are going to beat the 49ers in the divisional round. In the AFC Championship, the Buffalo Bills will defeat the Kansas City Chiefs. And in the NFC Championship, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers will lose to the Minnesota Vikings. So that means in the Super Bowl, we will have a rematch of possibly the most unbelievable game that was played in the NFL this year. Some may say it was the Vikings and Colts. The Vikings came back from 33 points down to create the biggest comeback in NFL history. Some people say that was the greatest game. But some people will tell you that the greatest game this year was the Vikings defeating the Buffalo Bills on the road in overtime. So, when you have a Bills and Vikings Super Bowl, I believe the Bills have never won a Super Bowl. Or maybe they did. I have no idea. The Vikings have never won a Super Bowl. Until this year. You heard it here first, folks. The Minnesota Vikings will be your Super Bowl champions this year down in Arizona, and it's going to be unbelievable. I can't wait. We are 4 or 5 weeks away from that happening, but just got to take it one game at a time. But I am along for the ride. I enjoy every single game. We need everybody out there to send all their carrier pigeons to the Vikings so that they can win this Super Bowl. Send your best vibes, your best well wishes to the Vikings each and every game. And if we all band together and do that, we will be able to celebrate a Minnesota Vikings Super Bowl. So there you have it. That's the official Erin Marvin NFL playoffs predictions. It's going to be really exciting to watch. I'm excited. I'm going to go join a few of my buddies this weekend and watch the Vikings take on the Giants. I'm already looking forward to it. I'm going to pick up some non-alcoholic beers, and we are just going to be buckled in for the ride, baby. Yeah, so that's all we have really today. Thanks, everybody, for joining me for the podcast. It actually does mean a lot to me that you are tuning in and watching this and listening to me talk. I know it's not much. It's honest work, but I feel like we are slowly getting a little group of people who are supporting, and I'm very appreciative of everybody for tuning in. So, that being said, I look forward to creating more episodes. Some people have asked me about a theme song and an intro. I am working on that, but kind of how this goes is I know that I want to record an episode, and then I have to think about what I'm going to talk about, and then by the time I do that, I don't really think about anything else. So when I have free time, maybe this week, next week, soon, the goal is we are going to have an Erin Marvin podcast. If you notice this week, we are going to have an Erin Marvin podcast with a theme song. So looking forward to that. If you notice this week, we got the Magic Window is back. I hope everybody has been enjoying that throughout this episode. I don't know what I put on that window this week because I usually record the episode, and then once I'm done recording, I decide what goes on there. So we'll see what gems and treasures I've come up with this week. It's been home videos in the past. Who knows what it'll be this week? So I hope everybody's enjoying that as they listen to me ramble in front of a microphone. Thanks, everybody, for joining me for the Erin Marvin Show, episode 6. Coming back very soon with episode 7. Remember to hit that like and that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next episode.